Howdy, all Jackson here with Ick Studios, and welcome back to another episode of Outside the Hash. Once again, I'm left solo, so I got ghosted. Uh, I don't know if this is gonna become a solo show or not. I might have to work on reformatting for that possible inevitability. But let's get into going over the overviews. So in the Fun League, there wasn't really much going on, except for that the playoff structure has been announced for the AAL2. So first week is not this upcoming week, but the following weekend. And it was like it's 2 rounds before the East-West or Northeast Championship, and then the winner will play the South Division champion. So let me hop over to the AL2 so you can see that. I think it's kind of whack that the South gets the easiest when I think the Bearcats are probably the best team in the league, but whatever. We will see. We will see. So yeah, I think it's Bearcats, War Eagles, Rough Riders, Stampede. I think that's how it's being done. I know they announced that they're playing the War Eagles, so I assume it's 1-4, 1-4, 2-3, and then probably just obviously just 1 versus 2 there. But yeah, so let's hop on over to Major League Rugby, where they just finished up their regular season. So the Seawolves murdered the Sharks. Ansem completes the perfect season. They're now 0-32, all lifetime. So we'll see if they can get that W next year, if they're still around. San Diego kicked the shit out of DC. Utah put up a good number, but also gave up some points against LA. NOLA lost to New England, and Chicago beat Houston earlier in the week on the Wednesday game. So that's the game I will look at here, as it is, I guess they don't have the stats, the full game stats, which is a little weird, but for this league, it's not weird in general, because obviously a lot of these smaller leagues don't have the stats updated, and we'll see that later on. But so Chicago came with a win, 15-12, tied on drive. Difference with a penalty goal. Both teams were 1 of 2 on their conversion kicks. And honestly, pretty even across the board, except for here where there's a 200-meter difference in kicking meters. But other than that, it was pretty even, which is indicative of the 15-12 score. So we will look at the final standings. The top 4 teams made the playoffs. So New England is playing Miami. Chicago is playing Glory, I believe. I believe we're the top 4. I don't think top 4. Yes, top 4. Utah is playing Seattle, which might be a wild trap game. And then Houston is playing LA. San Diego misses out at 8-8, which is a little rough because they were a pretty good team, but they're in the wrong division, so they get kind of screwed over. Yeah, 48 points. They would be 3 in the East. That is just rough. They should have crossover. So here is the team stats. So Utah was first in points, first in tries. LA was first in meters. DC first in turnovers. Utah first in turnover 1. That makes sense based on a Miami player finished top in points. So that was a flip for like the first time in forever there. So that's interesting. Anything else here? Really, not really. So we will look at the playoff games here. Chicago playing DC, Utah, Seattle, New England, Miami, Houston, LA. I would say Chicago. I'll take Chicago there. I will take New England there. I'll go with the upset here. I'll go Seattle there, and I'll go Houston here, I guess. So that would make it Chicago, New England, and then Seattle, Houston. I'll go Seattle again, I guess. So I'll say Seattle upsets Houston there, and I got to ride with my boys, so I'll go Chicago beats New England, and then I'll do Chicago beats Seattle for a playoff bracket. But we will pick again, repick the. So that'll be my bracket, but we will repick games next week. We'll hop over to the NAL, which has reached its climax for its championship. So Columbus, Beaumont, Colorado, Omaha were our division championships. So as you can see, high scoring fourth quarter for Beaumont to come away with the win. Carl Robinson, 6 of 9, nice for 119 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, 1 of 1 on 2-point conversions. He also had 3 rushing touchdowns, and their running back also had 2 rushing touchdowns, so they killed it. And then over here, Vincent Espinoza, 14 of 26, 205, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, 1 of 4 on 2 points, so that killed them there. The pick probably hurt as well. Jeff had a rushing touchdown. Brian Robinson also had a rushing touchdown. They had no Demary Ewing, which is Ewing was one of their best wide receivers. So not having him for the championship game probably hurt. Yeah, their kicker also with 0 for 2 on PATs, which is probably why they went for it so many times on 2-point conversions. So the other championship game was Colorado at Omaha. Tommy Armstrong came in to play this game instead of Lorenzo Brown. And what do you know, coming off cold off the bench, coming out of retirement, 12 of 14, 178, 6 touchdowns, no picks. Also having a rushing touchdown and 74 yards on the ground. He killed it. So the running back also had 3 rushing touchdowns. So, yeah. Andre Sale had a good game himself, though. 25-45, 251, 6 touchdowns, but had a pick. So that obviously hurt there. Stephen Newbold had 87 receiving yards. So, Rosario did not have good numbers. So that obviously hurt them because that's kind of their tandem. So, yeah, championship is Omaha at Beaumont. You can disregard this because Tommy Armstrong will be starting. So, yeah, this should be a good game. It was a good game the first time they played. It's in Beaumont, but I think Tommy Armstrong is the difference here, so I'm going to go Omaha to get the dub. So AF1 up next. They are going into their final week of the season, and there are still playoffs in contention. So there were the 4 games this week were Billings beat Nashville, which is a bit of surprise there for me. Oregon beat Corpus, which Corpus fell apart after they didn't pay their players. Salina came away with the win against Southwest Kansas, which is good for me because I want Salina to make the playoffs and not Billings. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's 3 games, not 4 games. I'm stupid. So I'll go over my Oregon Corpus game. Dalton Cole, 15-24, 163 touchdowns, 1 pick. He also had 2 rushing touchdowns. So it was a good game out of him. Fred Payton also had a good game, 14-32, 195, 3 touchdowns. He also had a rushing touchdown. But that team is not the same team anymore, so they lose. So Albany, obviously, your 1 seed, all locked up. Southwest Kansas versus Southwest Kansas, I believe, too. So Nashville, Salina, these, I think, can all flip. Uh, so, yeah. So top 4 teams make it. But outside of I don't think anybody's winning outside of Albany. I think Albany has the championship locked up. This has not changed at all. It's still the same leaders. So we will go into the final week. Nashville will get its win. Albany will get a win. Billings is probably going to win. And then I hope, for the love of God, Salina wins. Is what I want there. So, or maybe Oregon can win somehow. Let's go Oregon. But no, it's gonna. I hope. So yeah, I'll go Nashville, Albany, Billings, Salina, there. On to Australian football. It was a very low-scoring week. So Hawthorn beat Western, Adelaide beat Brisbane. That's kind of a surprise there. Sydney remember how to play football again, but this because they're playing Richmond. Geelong beat Gold Coast. Port Adelaide beat GWS. That's a little bit surprising there too. North Melbourne won a game against West Coast, who also sucked. Carlton beat Eston, and then my Magpies came away with a squeaker against Melbourne. We will hop over to the game timeline. So, yeah, biggest lead was 20. And then they choked it away. And then looks like midway through the fourth, they even lost the lead. But luckily, they were able to get it back and eke it through. So I will take my win there. Who are our fantasy leaders? Dykos. That's not really surprising with no goals. Who was the goal leader? A lot of Melbourne up time and multiple goals, but a lot of people with 1 for Collingwood, so I will take that. So Collingwood is still leading the 8. I think Fremantle have hopped in. Is what has happened in the top 8, so. And I don't think there's any changes there otherwise. Who are stat leaders? Bailey Smith is the fantasy point leaders. Jeremy Cameron, Bailey Smith, disposal leader. I'd like to see my Cats there. Tom Akins as well. Let's go. All right. So this upcoming week, I think I will go. Let's go St. Kilda. Let's go Adelaide. Let's go Brisbane. Let's go Geelong. Let's go Fremantle. Let's go Port Adelaide. And let's go Carlton. So those are my picks. We'll hop over to the IFL. This past week was a good one. Lots of close games. Iowa, they had a decent lead to start the game, and then they fell apart. But that's just kind of on brand for Iowa. Jacksonville got the win against Arizona, so that's a really good win for them. Massachusetts beat Fisher. Quad City handled San Antonio. Vegas handled Naz. Bay Area came away against Tulsa, and then San Diego beat Tucson. I will go over my my Steam Wheelers. Twan Dale, 14-23, 172, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. The big takeaway here was the defense coming away with 4 picks against the gunslingers. They were really living up to their name with 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Von Neal also had a rushing touchdown, as well as 2 for their running back. Anything major here? I guess shout out to Glenn Gibbons, who had 7 catches on the day, as well as a touchdown. So that's a good day for him. Kyle Kaplan made his field goal. So there's that. Standing, Quad City still leading the East, Bay Area leading the West now with Arizona's loss. But it's still pretty much anybody's division on those two. Can definitely any of these 3, and then these 2 definitely are still in play. Who are the lead leaguers right now? Lead leaders, still Dalton Sneed, Max Miller, Nate Davis, I believe, has hopped up into 3rd now in passing. Who are the rushing leaders? TJ Edwards, Luca Williams, Max Maylor. No surprises there, really. Shine Williams. This hasn't really changed at all, so. And we will look on to next week, week 13, Jacksonville at Green Bay. I say, okay, Jacksonville beating Arizona. I think I'll give the edge to Jacksonville right now. Massachusetts, because Iowa still sucks. I'll go Tulsa. I'll go Quad City. I will go Arizona. I will go San Diego, and then I will go Bay Area. So we will hop on over to the UFL, which had their conference championship games this week as well. Michigan stopping the Stallion 4-P. Jamar Smith came out not playing well, and he was replaced by Matt Corral. And he also did not play well. So that was really the Stallion season was not great quarterback play. They got really boned by Magoo getting hurt. Bryce Perkins, on the other hand, continued his Offensive Player of the Year season, so that means Tom is probably going to win MVP, which is unfortunate because I think Perkins was actually more valuable. But that being said, 238, 28-25, a touchdown, no picks. He also had a rushing touchdown, so he killed it on the ground as well. Then we'll go on to the Battlehawks DC, where the Defenders defeated the Battlehawks. Battlehawks continue to struggle with the postseason. They also made a quarterback switch during the game. Brandon Silver's coming in and playing okay. But it was no match for Tamu, 18-26 to a 4-1 touchdown, 1 pick. Deion Jackson really killed him on the ground with 110 yards and 2 touchdowns. So controlling the ground game is really really killer. So that brings us to the championship game. Michigan versus DC. Tamu versus Perkins, so MVP versus Offensive Player of the Year. With that said, I'm going Michigan. Because I will never pick degenerate XFL scum over the glorious USFL. So we'll hop over to the LFA now, where this past week my Osos laid an egg almost, lost 16-3 against the Mexicans in the battle of undefeateds. The Caudillos got their revenge against the Archangels. The Gallos Negros beat the Dinos 33-24, and then the Raptors shut out the Reyes, who continue to be absolute garbo. They don't have the total split up on this page, but we can find them here if we just search by week. It's not week 4, it's week 5, right? No, or is it week 6? It's week 6. I don't know why I put week 4. Week 6. So, yeah, Osos Mexica. So, Osos 140, 121. Yeah, so less than 300 total yards. And then the Mexicas put up also less than 300 total yards. But, they scored the more points, and that's what mattered. So, what was the Epler took 4 sacks that following what killed him. 18 to 29, 140. No touchdowns, no picks. And then I believe Jaya Wright was the Mexico's quarterback. I guess they split time. But Wright coming in 16 to 23, 129. The good performance out of him. Week 6. Yeah. Timothy Whitefield, 15 for 46. Jai Wright also had a rushing touchdown. Axel Montini had a decent game, 9 to 95, but did not get in the end zone, so that killed him. So, yeah. The standings: Mexico 6-0, Oso Cadillos 5-1, and then the Archangels, who are a really competitive team for being an expansion team. And then after that, I don't think anybody has a real shot of making the championship. So we will check in on the league leaders. Epler still leading the league in rushing, or passing, sorry. 16 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. Javon Boykin has moved himself into 4th place, so shout out to that. Let's see what Jeremy Johnson, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, 25 to 54. He needs that. I guess that little bit of rest probably from being retired up until just right now. So, Whitefield still leading the league in rushing. And James Joseph Bailey Hop is leading the league in receptions now, or receiving yards now. And so for this next week, second to last week of the season, I go Archangel Raptors. I think I will go Archangel Gallos Negros will beat the Reyes. Oh no, did I go that? Os Cadillos. I will go, I guess I'll go, I have to stick with my boy, so I'll go Osos. And then the Mexico, they will have beat the Dinos. So, we will now hop on over to the X League, which had their championship, which I only have pulled up in case Kyle showed up, but he did not. So it's Opic versus the Rise. As much as I would like it to be the Rise, I think it's going to be Opic there. So, there. ELF, good, continue to be blowouts for the most part in the season. Hamburg beat Berlin. I don't know what's up with Berlin. Jacob Sullivan has just, the offense has not been clicking the way I'd expect it to be. Vienna, on the other hand, is totally clicking. Madrid, killing it. Prague doing way better than I thought they would be, so I am super happy with Prague right now. Paris beat the Fire. The Fire obviously have fallen off because they lost their 2 best players, and Jim Tomsula has been dealing with family stuff, so he's actually just announced that he's stepping down for the rest of the year. So I don't know if the Fire will rebound there. Frankfurt also playing great, so I'm happy with them. 47-15 over Cologne. Stuttgart Munich being the only really competitive game of the week. Stuttgart came away with the win. I'll go over my Prague game though, because those are my boys. Smith was 9 of 14 for 117, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Zolvaka, 78 yards, a touchdown. Patterson also had 2 touchdowns, so that was good. Obviously, he really spread the ball around on his completions. Just kidding. Irons, on the other hand, did actually throw the ball around, but he also threw three picks. That's a killer there, but I don't think it would have made that much difference based on how the point differential was. So anyways, Vienna, Prague, Warclaw, And throners there: Stuttgart, Frankfurt, Paris, Nordic, all still undefeated, and then Madrid, 3-1, leading the South. So Sinnott still leading the league in passing. Sullivan second in passing. Hennessy third. So Sullivan throwing up yards but not getting points. So that's just weird. Flatsgummer leading the league in rushing yards. Cruikshank leading the league in receiving yards. And then for next week, I will go Panthers. I will go Hamburg. I will go Berlin. I will go Nordic, Munich, Madrid. On to the Arena League. Week 2. The Eau Claire Axemen beat the Flunkers, which is a surprise to me, as they are the expansion team, 49-44. The Goats lost another close game, 46-45 to Duluth. And then the Woo beat the Hot Springs Wise guys. So good for the Woo. This is the league they're talking about not having their stats up to date. So they are a week behind. So rip me there. So next week I'll go Duluth. I guess I'll go Eau Claire, and I'll go Ozarks. And then we have the CFL, the last real major league. Saskatchewan beat Ottawa. Montreal beat Toronto somehow, so I'm super pumped about that. Montreal beat Roland. It probably helped that Chad Kelly was hurt for the game, so he didn't get to play. So we got beat up on the backup, though he did win the Grey Cup, so you know. Calgary beat Hamilton. BC beat Edmonton. So let's go over my Owls. So Arbuckle for Toronto in replacement of Chad Kelly with 20 of 32, 273, a touchdown, but 2 picks. He didn't really have a run game at all. So, and then Coxie had 99 yards receiving, so decent game receiving out of him. For the Owls, Davis Alexander played well in his first start as the true starter, 19 of 26, 205, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. We also had a good, decent running game. Alexander included at 50 yards rushing. And when quarterback came in and got a rushing touchdown on the goal line. Austin Mack, 51 yards. Philpott with a touchdown. So, like to see that out of our top 2 targets. So, undefeateds are BC, Calgary, Saskatchewan, and Montreal. Winnipeg did not play. Edmonton, Ottawa, Hamilton, Toronto, all losers. Drew Brown leading league in passing. Nathan Warwick, Bo Levy, Mitchell, top 3. Dedrick Mills, Sean, Thomas, Arlington, James Butler are rushing and receiving. Samuel M. Millis, Justin Hardy, Braylon Addison for top 3s there. So next week I will go Winnipeg, I will go Montreal, I will go Toronto, and I will go Saskatchewan. And then for the last thing, we are introducing a new league. I didn't cover them really initially because I didn't think they were actually going to make it to kickoff, but they have made it to kickoff. There are 4 teams officially listed, but I think only 3 teams are real because the team in Mexico, first off, lost to their semi-pro team, and then nobody wants to play them because they're in Mexico. So you have the Ohio Valley Ironmen, who won their first game 45 versus 45-0 against the semi-pro team. The second team is the Huntsville Astros, who won their first game 45-0 against a semi-pro team. And then we have the Tampa Tornadoes, who did not play a game yet. They played their first game on the 14th. So for our schedules, the Ohio Valley, they only play 1 league game against Huntsville. At Huntsville, all the rest of their games are home games. But there are crossover games, so we can get like an SRS ratings between them. So because they play Tennessee, and Huntsville just played Tennessee, so we'll have a little bit of crossover there. The Astros schedule, they play Tampa twice. They also play Up One Athletic, which gets us a weird crossover game with indoor teams because they played in the Gridiron Indoor Football League. They played a bunch of games there earlier in the year, so we'll have a weird crossover between outdoor and indoor football. So we can throw this league on the Mega SRS ratings. And then for the last team are the Tampa Tornadoes. They play Huntsville twice. They also play Tennessee, so crossover there. And then there's also they also play Hidden Gems in Las Vegas twice. So that's also crossovers with teams that played indoor league games. So they will really be able to help get like an SRS weird thing. So it's weird to have common opponents between outdoor and indoor teams. With that said, I don't really have anything else to talk about tonight, so I will see everybody next week. Maybe I will have a co-host, maybe I won't. Talk to you guys